Divorce court.
I'm here because my fiance keeps trying to ruin our relationship with cheating and meeting up with people.
Victoria's attitude needs some work. She's a bit of a drama queen.
He was so irresponsible with money, he would swipe his card till there's not anything left.
The only money that I bring in is the only money I spend. I want the judge to let her know that I'm here for my family and to better us.
If he can't stop cheating, I'm ready to go.
Divorce court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toler presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Victoria Hamilton and Akiva Owens. Ms. Hamilton and Mr. Owens, you have been together for 5 years, engaged for the last 2.5. You have 3 children together, and you both have 2 children from previous relationships. Ms. Hamilton, I'm going to start with you. You've been together for a while, but you're in trouble now. Tell me why you've come to see me.
I came because my fiance has an issue with cheating and having community penis.
Ah. Hopped right out with it. So
he works as an EMT, so he has weird hours, right? And he tells me I'm about to go to work or whatever. It's in like 8, 9 o'clock at night. So I'm like, okay. When he comes back, I ended up going through his phone because something like struck my intuition or whatever. And come to find out, no, he wasn't at work. He took my car and went and seen this girl that looks like Miss Piggy.
I'm not going to disparage the woman's look, but Mr. Owen, did you say you were going to work and in reality we're going to see another woman?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Honesty. Were you going just to talk to her? Were you having a sexual relationship? What was the deal?
It was a sexual relationship.
Okay. I won't have to struggle with you. Can you tell me why you felt the need to do that, or is that something you always do? Was this a one-time affair? What's happening?
It was like a spur-of-the-moment thing.
Spur-of-the-moment?
Yeah.
You just, how do you have spur-of-the-moment sex? I mean, where do you find those women? Did you know her? Was she a friend?
It was somebody I known for a while.
Mm-hmm. And she just called you up and said, hey, you want some? And you go, yep, and got up and went?
Pretty much.
Ms. Hamilton, is this an unusual thing for him, or do you believe that he does this quite often?
Here's the thing. It seems like the only time that he actually does it is when I'm down and out. So that was around the time that we had our first baby.
Uh-huh.
I was, out of the game, quote unquote. I couldn't really do nothing.
Right.
So then, it seems to have happened again now that I've had our twins recently. Mm-hmm. So it's every time that I'm either sick or I just had a baby or something.
Or out of commission in some way, shape, or form.
Like he's not
So
just
when
out
this
there,
first
though.
cheat happened, how long had you been together?
Maybe 2 or 3 years at that point.
2 or 3 years? Mm-hmm. When you had the first baby?
Mm-hmm. Well, I had the first baby almost immediately when we got together.
You mean to tell me you almost got pregnant immediately after you met him?
I did get pregnant immediately after I met him.
What were you both thinking?
That he was fine. Let me just be honest.
You can be fine and use protection. Contraception don't hurt fine.
The spur of the moment kind of gets you sometimes, though, so.
Spur moment don't get you. Lack of planning gets you. Immaturity gets you. Foolishness gets you. The spur of the moment don't get you.
I was a fool.
What's your excuse?
I don't have one.
Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? It just happened. You just did it. That's what happened. Were you alarmed at all when she popped up pregnant?
Yeah, I was.
Did you say anything? No.
Yeah, I said something. I kind of questioned it at first.
You weren't sure it was yours?
Yeah.
But you're comfortable with that now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Give me another story that shows his wanderings about town.
Okay, so like I said, recently I just had twins. And we're in the hospital about to have the twins. He falls asleep with his phone in his shirt. Mm-hmm. I get and I look through it, and
you in labor, looking through his phone?
Pretty much.
Wow. Go ahead.
he had messages with a couple of people. And I have those messages where it looks like
Can I see 'em?
he went and slept with somebody else, and he won't tell the truth about it. So number one was Miss Piggy.
Mr. Owens, do you know what I'm looking at? Do you know what text she's referring to?
Yes, ma'am.
They are yours?
Yes, ma'am.
So you did say these things.
I said it, but nothing ever happened.
So he says. Because it's clear that they met.
Oh, who clearly? You said you were on your way. I'm coming right now.
I never went, though.
One of them even says, when can I come again? And specifically, when can I come again for that?
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah, specifically. Mr. Owens, why you running around on your woman?
Not really running around, Your Honor. Just having conversations
other
with
women?
people.
You just having conversations with
I
other
haven't
people.
had sex with only one person. So
Have you ever caught him? Well, clearly, she says you done it once before and wanted to come and do it again.
That's not
She
the
was
only
very
time.
specific about the act. She used the name for it that I can't repeat.
But wait, though, wait.
See, you know what I mean? And asked you to come and do it again.
There's more to
You
that,
see that,
though.
right?
yeah,
So you've been sleeping around, right?
no.
Was she hallucinating? What was going on?
I never went over there.
Google Timeline says you did.
How do you know that?
Because-
Explain Google Timeline to me.
So everybody's phone works the same. You have Maps from Google on your phone.
Right.
If you go click on Maps and go to the little message part where it has the whole listing, there it says Timeline right there.
Did you
go
know
on
about that?
Timeline, it tracks everywhere you went.
I did not know that.
Yes.
And so you went and tracked where he was,
Even
and he was with her.
Yeah, this is another situation, another girl, another place.
Oh.
And I got the phone number for the girl out the phone, and I called her. She says they had sex.
She caught you. Do you have an explanation for why your phone says you were at a particular place that you say you weren't?
I wasn't there, Your Honor. I was gonna go, but then I didn't go.
You were gonna go, but
Yeah.
didn't go.
Yeah,
So you were never there.
no.
And when she says, let's do this particular act again, she just made it up.
He's lying.
I'm gonna move on from that because I think I see where we are, and I want to talk to you about finances and why you feel he doesn't give you adequate financial support.
They call me and tell me, why ain't you paid your rent? Why are you late? I was ready to argue with them and everything that this man done went and paid the rent. And we go down there and look on video, he ain't never showed up.
Did you not pay the rent? Typically, I like to start with the other person after I've started with somebody else, but I don't think I'm gonna get much of a story from you. I think you might do a little counterpunching, but you're not gonna lead. So I'm gonna ask her first, and then I'm gonna go to you. You contend, Ms. Hamilton, that you're financially insecure and he's not supportive enough in that circumstance. Why don't you tell me why you say that?
When he does get paid, he swipes his debit card till there's nothing left and doesn't account for anything. He doesn't watch the spending at all. He just swipes and swipes until it declines.
So are the bills taken care of first?
If I take care of them.
If you take care of them. Do you have access to his paycheck?
No.
Do you work as well?
We own a couple of companies.
You own good for you. Go ahead with your bad self. You own a couple of companies, so you're doing fairly well economically.
We're all right. Our biggest issue is the irresponsibility with the finances.
Tell me some of the outrageous things he's purchased.
Well, I wouldn't really say it's purchases. Like, if he does purchases, it's food. It's food over and over again, or a little
Hey, he's a
stupid
big
stuff.
dude. He needs to eat.
It's the problem of you don't pay attention to nothing you're doing. Sure, we need something to eat, but instead of going to spend $50 on food, you could put, 40 to the bills and then went and put 10 on whatever it is to eat. You know what I'm saying?
So he's not paying attention to what's in the bank account and what's not in the bank account. And when you need to meet bills, you don't have it there.
And I have to worry about all the bills. So yes, it's just He doesn't steward on none of our bills. I do everything.
What's your take on that, on the finances?
Finances is, I'm trying to get better on finances. I have some issues with financing.
Mm-hmm. Issues being that you just spend more than you have?
Not necessarily. Issues is I'm trying to get more income and a better grip on how to manage.
How to
income.
manage your money. Yeah. So that's really not, he's irresponsible. It's just he just doesn't quite have the tools yet to manage his money appropriately.
I ain't make it clear then. Let me give you something else.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go about rent then. We had rent due. I was anticipating him to go get the money in order to pay it. A couple days go by, he says he pays it, it's fine. They call me and tell me, why ain't you paid your rent? Why are you late? I was ready to argue with them and everything that this man done went and paid the rent. And we go down there and look on video, he ain't never showed up.
Did you not pay the rent?
Yes, ma'am, I paid it.
So what happened?
No idea.
That technology don't do right by you. Google Maps have you play somewhere you didn't go. She said video showed you never showed up at the rental place. Let me ask you this. I read in your papers that he's so irresponsible with money that he doesn't pay bills until the lights actually get turned off. Is that true?
You go to pay the light bill with your card and they decline it and the lights get shut off. But they didn't decline it until 2 or 3 days later, and then our lights randomly got shut off.
I got you. Now, I know we're talking about money, and we're talking about him not being financially responsible. But, Ms. Hamilton, I understand in a fit of anger, you called his boss and got him fired.
Sure
so
did.
I want to talk about how that happened and why that makes any sense to anybody. What's that song? It Wasn't Me.
And he's got some thinking to do, too, because every time he cheats, I go out and cheat, too, so...
Do you think couples that are simply dating should have a child together? Tell us what you think at Divorce Court.
All right, Judge Lynn, we have a viewer's question ready for your judgment call. My wife doesn't approve of me picking up my children at my ex's house, and she doesn't allow my ex to drop off the kids at our house. Should I refuse to cooperate with her demands or just find a neutral location?
You need to tell your wife that Judge Lynn said she needed to get her act together, stop being so insecure, understand that you had a life before you were with her, and behave like she's a grown woman and let those kids get dropped off at the door. If you would like your case to be heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Miss the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms, and for exclusive content, go to Apple TV. Mrs. Hamilton, did you really call his boss and get him fired?
Sure did.
Tell me why you would do something like that.
Well, it goes back to the finances and cheating. He used that job to cheat on me after I helped him get the job. We sacrificed almost a whole year for him to go to school and get his EMT license, and then everything it took to get the job. And not only did you use the job to go cuddle up with your coworkers and then not paying the bills on top of it. So I didn't care about that job.
Isn't that hurting your own financial circumstances? That's new money coming into the house.
I already pay everything anyway, so it
How
really
did you
changed
get him
nothing.
fired? What did you tell his boss that got him fired?
Called and told him what I believe was the truth. After reading his messages, it looked like he had slept with one of his coworkers on the job.
Mr. Owens, how did you find out she had gotten you fired?
I got to work and they called me in the office and asked me about an email they received saying that I was sleeping with a coworker on the clock, which was not true. They went back and seen that me and that coworker actually never even worked the same shift together.
So how did you lose the job?
Being late too many times.
I didn't wake him up to go to work.
It was tardiness and not what she did.
Yes, ma'am.
No,
But
the morning that he got fired, I laid there and watched him sleep until it was too late for him to go to work a couple of days in a row, because I was ready for him to lose that job. Let me be honest. He can find another one. Listen, this is the thing that y'all are missing about it. They have beds at that job. They have a whole house that they live in.
I understand. My son's an EMT. I get it.
So them not working shifts together didn't mean anything. She worked the same job, and you got beds available with shut doors and locks.
But it ain't like that. I wouldn't hurt my bank account like that.
It's not my bank account that I was hurting.
But that's money coming into the house.
I understand that, but we also have 3 companies. He can get his butt up and work for us if he wants to do something. He doesn't have to go out and make money for somebody else. We can do that by ourselves.
Mr. Owens, I believe you're making hay with other women. Making hay is an old expression. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Are you unhappy at home?
No, ma'am.
Are you overwhelmed at the house?
Yeah, sometimes.
Are you running from her?
No.
Does he ever say more than 2, 3 things?
I mean, what you see right now is what I get at home. Okay. Obviously, I like to talk. I can't talk to him about bills or anything. He does this.
How did you get him here?
I get my way.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear, he has PTSD from being an Iraqi war veteran, and I want to thank you for that, you know? That's a hard thing, go over that, do that, and then come back and have everything all straight and squared away.
He's a good man.
Do you appreciate that PTSD thing is real?
Yeah, I do. I do appreciate it. But you can't tell me that when we're riding down the car and I'm asking you about our twins, did you feed them or did you change them or do I need to do it? That you didn't hear me and I'm sitting 2 feet away from you. He ignores me all the time. I have to say it 5 or 6 times to get him to reply to me. And then he's mad like...
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. I understand what's going on, and I'm going to tell you what I think about what I understand about what's going on. Mr. Owens, why do you think you're here?
Because she thinks that I'm sleeping with everybody that I talk to.
And you say you're not sleeping with any of them?
No.
What do you want me to get him to do?
I mean, honestly, I want the truth. And asking him it hasn't worked. Yeah, I don't feel like he's telling the truth.
I think it's pretty clear what he's doing. You know, what's that song? It wasn't me. Mm-hmm. Stick to your story no matter what. I'm quite sure if I were you, I wouldn't put up with it. But you're 3 babies in?
Mm-hmm.
I'd quit having kids with him. I know that much.
I'm done. And he's got some thinking to do, too, because every time he cheats, I go out and cheat, too, so...
Do you believe that, or do you think she's just trying to yank your chain?
I believe it.
You do?
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
true.
Are you upset about it?
Well, I'm pretty much over it.
If I had a slingshot, I'd pull it back and pop you in the head just to see if you'd say something, to see if I could get a reaction out of you. You seem pretty low-key over there. You don't seem interested or engaged.
I am.
Listen, I don't know what you're going to do with him, Mrs. Hamilton. He's cute, pretty to look at. I'm sure he's fun to be with. Enjoy him for what you can. Keep the credit card out of his hands. And I don't know what to tell you about the rest of it, because I don't know. And I wish you all the luck in the world. This matters again.
There's nothing that you can think of that you would have changed? Any regrets there?
The only thing I would have changed is, you know, checking his phone sooner.